definitely. You are the middle piece.
The human centipede. First sequence.
Hello everyone, welcome to another movie review. Recently I watched a film called The Avengers, and let me just say that this film is so good that I have now seen it twice in theaters. Get that, 2 times. That's how good this film is. It's only been out for like 3 days now, and I've already seen it that many times. That's how much I enjoyed it. Let me tell you a little bit about the plot of The Avengers. The plot of it is very simple, not too complex at all. There's this little blue orb called the Tesseract, I believe, and Loki, from Thor, the villain from Thor, Loki wants to possess this orb and unleash its power across the earth. He also is leading an army, and him and his army are going to pretty much destroy the earth, unless someone can stop them. There's a guy if you're not familiar with the previous films, there's a guy by the name of Director Fury, or General Fury, and he wants to assemble these superheroes, calling them the Avengers, of course, to stop Loki from destroying the earth. That's the gist of Avengers. Like I said earlier, not too complex at all. Now, as for my opinion of this film, oh my god, I love this film. Now, a lot of people are my full opinion, not meaning to offend anyone at all, a lot of people are too nitpicky about things. They think that, they're too picky about superhero films. Me, myself, my opinion in full, I thought everything in this film was perfect. I enjoyed it. It was a little under 2.5 hour film, and those full 2.5 hours were good. In all honesty, I wish it would have lasted longer. I mean, it was one of those films that I never wanted to end. I wanted it to just be, 6 hours. But of course, who wants to sit in the theater for 6 hours? I do. Anyways, back to the review. Let me tell you a little bit about some of the things that I thought really stood out in the film. First up, the villain. Loki, I thought in this film was just great. I really think that he is on par with some of the greatest, villains out there, just in Marvel comics and superheroes and stuff like that in general. Other Marvel, heroes or villains would be people like Venom. Then you have Dr. Octopus. You have Green Goblin. Those are all from like the Spider-Man universe, and you have all kinds of villains from other universes. I thought that Loki was on par with some of those. I really thought that his performance was very standoutish, just very cool. Some really memorable and remarkable quotes in the film. I love the way that his creepy, smile. You can really tell that he is having fun with his role in the film. Some of the other things that I liked in the film was the interactions between all of the characters. The interactions between Thor and Captain America, just all of them. The Hulk, Black Widow, Hawkeye, just, Iron Man, Captain America, just all of them. Even Director Fury, just all of the Avengers in general. I really liked the way they interacted with each other. Not just their fighting, because their fighting was phenomenal, but their conversations with each other when they're arguing. Then finally, of course, finally when they come together. Sorry if I spoiled anyone. Of course they're going to come together. It's the Avengers. If you thought that was a spoiler, I'm sorry. Anyways, back to what I was saying. I like their interactions. I really like the way they come together. A lot of people think characters like Black Widow and Hawkeye are pointless, and I will say, I have to disagree with that statement. When you see the Avengers, at least when I saw it, I learned that people like Black Widow and Hawkeye were not, less important at all. Hawkeye has his arrows, Black Widow pretty much, just kicks butt, I really thought that these characters added just as much to the film as Iron Man did, or as the Hulk did. Of course, most people go see these movies to go see Iron Man and the Hulk, kick some butt, but I thought that Captain America and Thor and, they all, come together to make a great film. Another thing that I liked about the film was the way Joss Whedon, director, wrote the script for this film. Also did Cabin in the Woods. I know he also did like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He did Firefly TV series, Angel. He's done a lot of things. I haven't seen too much of his stuff, but I did see Cabin in the Woods, and I liked that a lot. If you want to know about my review, if you want to know more about my review of Cabin in the Woods, just go watch my review. Anyways, so back to this review. So like I was saying about Joss Whedon, a lot of people are giving him a lot of praise for his script writing. Now I loved his script writing, don't get me wrong, I liked it. But the most thing I liked about it was the way he fleshed out each character. And let me explain what I mean about that. Each character felt like they had plenty of screen time. A lot of people said, a lot of people in the reviews were saying, I'm a little worried about how he's going to fit all these characters into the big screen in one huge, little under 2.5 hour movie. Well, I thought that Joss Whedon and everyone involved in this film, thanks to all of you, because they really learned how, and they achieved what they were trying to do, of making each character feel like they had enough screen time in order to make the story play out in the way it did, Even characters like you think wouldn't matter, like, General Fury or Director Fury, whatever you want to call him, even people like him felt like they had enough screen time. And of course, you have the Hulk and Thor, and it's just really cool that each one of them, played their part in a very great way. Now, a lot of people are kind of questioning whether or not the Avengers are going to have a sequel, and I did a little research and watched a few interviews, and I learned a few things. Right now, because he just did Cabin in the Woods, like I said earlier, and now he's done the Avengers, and he said right now he has a lot on his plate, and he's not even thinking about doing a sequel right now. But, of course, there is going to be one in the future. It's inevitable. Anyways, he said that right now he's not thinking about one, but he said if he was offered to direct the sequel, that he would think about it, and that he would probably most likely do it. So, do you guys want to see an Avengers 2? Let me know in the comment more below. But, of course, we'll see Captain America 2, a Thor 2, and an Iron Man 3, probably before we see the next Avengers 2. As for the Hulk 2, may not be seeing that, since Mark Ruffalo, is now the new Hulk. I thought Mark Ruffalo did a great job. He's really cool. One of the many things that I did not expect about the film was its comedic tone. I didn't expect, I didn't expect it to just be, a superhero film, which I love. But I didn't expect there to be a lot of comedy there, and I was slightly surprised when there was. There were actually a lot of times, at least, for me at least, in my opinion, in full, that there were a lot of times in the film where I actually laughed out loud, chuckled, very amused by a lot of the scenes in the film, and just, I loved in the film how you can definitely tell that they're all having fun in their parts. I loved how it's one of those concepts where they didn't take it too seriously, and they had fun the entire time they were doing it. They just, there's a few times in there where it's like a spoof on itself. The Avengers, the movie is like playing with itself, playing with the concept, and you can definitely tell that they had fun with it the entire time they were making it, and that was one of the many things that I loved about the Avengers. Anyways, that's my review of the Avengers. Like, comment, subscribe to my page below, and I'll see you guys later with another movie review.